We literally just finished the last class.
Oh, okay.
So today was their last day.
That is terrifying for them.
That's funny.
I know the fuck.
I was telling, I kept telling them every day. I'm like, man, that last day of class, it's getting closer and closer, and it's tough.
Okay. Yeah. I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, a few of them are in here. Nana, Larry, Caleb. They just finished the class. And I think you, Calvin and Rachel, you all were right before them, right? The class right before.
Yes, we were.
Rachel!
Hey! Good to see you. Or hear you.
For sure.
It's a party, y'all. Party. I think a few more people are going to join us. Let me see. Let's see. Caleb has he has a potential opportunity coming down the pipeline.
Okay.
I'll let him talk about that later. Like he had a funny experience that Caleb, if you don't mind talking about, just so other people are aware of, just in case they get that same thing.
Yeah, definitely. So I originally had like this interview for vulnerability management analyst. It was at my job. I work for it's kind of like a talent acquisition company. We work with like software. So we kind of, I guess, vendor it out to big organizations such as like Wells Fargo, Publix, like any big organization you can like think of. So pretty much in my company, there's like this security team that's like getting ready to take off. So they're looking for like talent and like new people to join on board. So I saw this vulnerability management position because I'm doing like IT tech right now. So I reached out to my manager saying, hey, like, this is like a position that might be good for me that I'm interested in. So he's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, like I'm gonna set you up with the security team to see if you can like talk to them so they can get to know you and stuff. So I reached out to them and they came back to me about, yeah, like they like my resume and everything and they want to set up a meeting with me. So pretty much it's kind of like not like your traditional interview, but they're kind of trying to gauge what I know in terms of like what I learned in school and what I've been doing in like O-line. So pretty much they hit me with something that was like unexpected. And I was kind of talking to Toby about it. It was like an assessment, but like they didn't really say much about what was going to be on the assessment. So I had to be prepared for like whatever, like it could be anything. So when the assessment came, it involved like cross-site scripting. I had to put like a script on the site and pretty much it was like kind of timed. So they wanted to see what I could do. So me personally, like I was like unexpected. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I went into it and I'm kind of trying to figure out, they said I could use Google and stuff. So I was going through the little Stack Overflow and like the coding boards to see if I could get my like answer and stuff. But I kind of figured it out somewhere. I just didn't know where to put the script. So when I did that, they're like, okay, cool. But we wanted you to place it in this specific area. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So me thinking I thought I wasn't gonna get the job or whatever, but they said they like me and they like my character and what I'm bringing to the team. They know that I'm trying to learn and it's hard to get into the field. So they understand where I'm coming from. And I'm bringing in the knowledge from like school and stuff. So they're interested in somebody like me who's like a self-starter. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm definitely like can bring that to your organization. So they talked to me and they said, hey, like the vulnerability position, we're looking for somebody who's more like into the industry, who actually knows what they're doing. But since we want to keep you on board, we want to gauge your knowledge and like what you know, we're going to open up this new position for you as a cybersecurity analyst. And basically this will give you an opportunity to learn all the different things that we work with, like the tools, the reports. So it's kind of like I'm doing everything. Like it will give me exposure to kind of see where I want to get in and which type of security, like vulnerability or like maybe compliance, like a different direction. So pretty much this position, it's like I don't want to say entry level because he told me that he's not going to put like a junior or entry level on it. It's actual cybersecurity analyst. That's what he told me. So I'm gonna be like shadowing the people on there, and then as I get my feet wet a little bit, I can choose which direction to go into as the security team grows. So I thought it was cool. I was like, it was very unexpected. Like I wasn't thinking it would go down the way that it is. So I just thank God for that too. And Toby.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Good job, big dog. That's definitely dope. That's that's a non-traditional way to get in the field, but you win.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely unexpected.
Yeah, when you told me about that assessment, I mean, the assessment wasn't an assessment isn't odd, but the way that it was done, I was like, oh, okay, that's different for an entry level position. Like, but I mean, I get it. They want to see what you know, gauge your skill set. Here's a script. Here's a web server. Where are you going to put this cross-site script at? Or where are you going to put this script at? Right? This is a cross-site script and it's at. So that's pretty cool, man. Congratulations on that. Definitely keep me posted. That I really wasn't expecting that news today. So that's
yeah, I just didn't know how to tell you yet, but I was like, I thought it would be good instead of like what I was doing before. So just instead.
Yeah, man, that's dope. All right, man. No problem. And leave that on the review on your testimonial. Go ahead and share that. I'm pretty sure that's going to motivate a lot of people out there.
Yeah, we'll do.
And then Rachel was, this is the Big Bang attack, y'all, right here.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna let Rachel do the attack. You got it, Rachel. We're honestly, tonight was about Rachel's accomplishment. You all, she recently accepted an offer letter. Caleb was the icing on top today. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thank you for having me. Hi guys, I'm Rachel. I was in the previous cohort, along with Calvin, who was also on the call. Thanks for being here, Calvin. As Toby just stated, I recently just accepted an offer letter to my first IT position. I am coming from a background with zero IT experience at all prior to O-line security. I began my IT journey back in November with O-line security. We were the November to February cohort, and that was a really great class. Learned a lot, obviously, as you guys can tell. So then we went on to gain our Security Plus certification, and that was a pretty trying time. We were on study sessions day in and day out. Calvin can attest to that. We formed a study group while we were still in class, just to help with just gaining understanding of the material that Toby was going over. But I found it to be very useful for me personally, because hearing the material being articulated from the perspective of other people, that really helped me. And sometimes my peers had notes that I might have missed out on. So like Calvin, he came through sometimes with a lot of notes that I could have missed out on, or just had a better understanding of topics that I, was like, oh, I didn't actually understand this when Toby talked about it. So that was great. And then even Toby just being a great resource. And so, like I said, we were able to go on and all successfully passed our Security Plus certification, everybody in our study group. So that was great.
And how many times did you have to take it?
Once. Everybody took it. We took it one time. Everybody passed.
One and done. And and you said you didn't have any experience before this, right?
Any experience, no schooling, no, literally nothing. I was suggested to O-line security through one of my friends who had taken O-line security. She also had no previous experience. She had been working in aquatics, and she worked with marine life, and just decided she wanted to go the route of tech. And so she did it, and she went through O-line security. She got her Security Plus certification on her first attempt. She raved about security, O-line security. And then I was like, well, I want to do this too. And so then I got into it. And yeah, so literally came from no type of background of anything tech. My family, nobody.
And
My
you're
family
based out of Atlanta, right?
Out of Metro Atlanta.
Right. So you're out of Atlanta. I think that was Ari, right?
Yes, that was Ari.
Yep. And she's based out of Atlanta. Somebody else had accepted an offer later today. He's in New Jersey. Caleb's in Maryland, I think.
Oh no, I'm based out of Atlanta as well too.
Oh, you're in Atlanta too?
Great.
Oh, party.
Yeah, a small world.
Hey, shout out.
A-Town.
Hey.
Hey, we all here in Atlanta. We all from Atlanta.
Hey, come on.
Don't get me started.
Hey, we in Maryland right now. Yeah. Oh, no.
That's funny.
Big facts. We in Maryland. Come on now.
All right, bro. I'm playing. I'm messing with you. Go ahead, bro.
But yeah, so I mean, literally, like I said, no background. My family, like my siblings, everybody was in higher ed. So I was the only one that kind of veered off and decided to venture off into the IT sector. So yeah, we did the class, obtained the Security Plus certification, and then for me, it's so funny because you get the certification and you kind of think like, all right, all the possibilities, like they're opening up, it's limitless, all of this type of stuff. And that's actually where I feel like the real work really begins, because for me, I'll just speak on my personal experience. I finally had my badge of honor that I could put on my resume to show these people, listen, these are my skills on paper. I got this Security Plus certification. And so I was applying to these jobs, and I mean, honestly, getting rejected left and right, literally left and right. And not even getting, and when I say left and right, it wasn't that I was getting an interview and that I wasn't able to sell myself. It was that they were not even just taking me in. They just would see my resume and it was just like, nope, sorry, you just don't have what we're looking for. And, and I would talk to Toby and I would be like, Toby, honestly, I'm just feeling a bit discouraged as far as this goes, because I'm just like, I just need somebody to give me a chance, because I know that I have the skills, and if only somebody would just literally take that chance on me, I can prove that I can do this stuff. But I was just feeling like people, they want you to have this experience, but also don't want to give you that hands-on experience.
Right.
And so that had been a big struggle for me. So I got my certification in March. And so beginning of March, I was getting interviews and stuff, but then I was getting ghosted. So if it wasn't an actual rejection, I was just getting ghosted by companies. So I interviewed with a couple and then they just kind of ghosted me. And so I lost a little bit of my momentum because I got discouraged, and I was just like, you know what, maybe, maybe I'm in over my head a little bit. But, I was going through some things with my job, the current job that I have. And, I was just like, I really want to find a new job, but I just don't want it to be another, in the meantime type of job. I was very intentional that the next job that I went to next was going to have to be in the IT sector. So as discouraged as I was, I just continued applying. Every time I was applying to stuff, I reached out to Toby. Toby, this is what it is. Or I finally got this interview and it was just preparing. And even with some of the people that were like in my group, I reached out to them. Calvin will tell you, like, I did a crash course in Splunk. Shout out to Toby's incident response class. Smooth plug, y'all take that. But I did a crash course through that where I was just able to reach out like, hey, I need some assistance. If you can just show me Splunk real quick, because, I just want to be prepared and have these skills and stuff, because I'm interviewing for this job and they want people to have this. So, I was just still using the resources and the tools that were provided to me through O-line. And so, I sent Toby the description for the job that I just received the offer from, and I was like, all right, this is the job. I applied to them, and so when they had reached out to me regarding like the phone interview, I was like, okay, I got a phone interview. This was the first step, and so he gave me advice on how he would think it was best to prepare for that, and just stay with what you're doing. And I just kind of followed through with that. I was on YouTube watching IT interviews. Shout out to Kevin Apple-Lorino. His name is Kev Tech on YouTube, if y'all haven't heard of him. He's a really, really great source of information. But I was also on YouTube University watching a lot of tech interviews, IT support interviews, that type of stuff, just as I prepared myself, utilizing my labs, the specific ones that cater towards the IT support, dealing with like Active Directory.
What's your elevator pitch?
The elevator. Okay, yes, the elevator pitch. Now that one specifically. So I remember when I came up with the elevator pitch, and the elevator pitch was a proud moment for me, I will say, because I had struggled so much with getting my elevator pitch together. And the day that I sent it to Toby, I was like, you know what, this is what I have. Toby told me that the elevator pitch sounded great. And with the elevator pitch, I was able to, I used that when I went into my my phone interview, because I think I had 2 interviews plus like a hiring exercise with the company. And the elevator pitch, I really felt like it just helped me to really just get my foot in the door just with the company, because I was able to tell them these are the skills that I've utilized. This is what I have experience in doing. Also showcase even the transferable skills from my current position that I was holding now. And my phone interview went exceptionally well. It got me to the next phase of the interview, which was the exercise. And if I satisfied the exercise, then I would go to the technical interview. So with the technical interview, that one didn't specifically, we were kind of past all of the steps regarding, I would say, like introductions and stuff. They specifically just more so wanted to see my skills. And honestly, I think that the first part of the the interview went really well with them. It was the second part that kind of knocked me a bit off my game, because they had me doing role play scenarios where I was basically like providing end user support. And so I do believe my nerves got a little bit the best of me, but
so you're saying for my bad. So for this, because Caleb, he had an assessment that he had to do. So for your interview, your technical interview, or this part, you're saying that you had to play a particular role. So you had to play the role of what again?
So I had to play the role of essentially an IT support analyst. So I had 2 parts. I did do a so their hiring exercise was an e-skill assessment. That was a timed 60-minute assessment where they asked me like a range of questions, varying in difficulty. It was really just all sorts of questions, to be honest. Some talking about, what would you use if you're trying to, locate like your IP or something like that. Like, what commands would you run? So it varied in questions, and that was the step after the phone interview. If I passed the e-skill assessment, it would take me to the third part, or the third round, which was the face-to-face interview / technical interview with the 2 people from the company. And in the third round, that's where they had me basically doing role play scenarios where they pretended to be end users calling in with various issues going on with their computers. So I know some of the questions that were asked, like, one guy, he was like, I'm trying to ping my machine by like its server name, but there's no connection, but the other person in the office is able to do it. What do I need to do? Can you walk me through the steps? That was one of the scenarios. Another scenario, it had to do with someone being not able to access like an Active Directory where I had to go and like reset someone in Active Directory because they were locked out of their account. So it was like those type of
And
those
how do you think you did on them?
So initially I was thinking the Active Directory one, I think that I had done pretty well on it. The one with the with the pinging the machine, I think my nerves did get a little bit of the best of me. I will admit, because when he had mentioned it, I just kind of remember my brain going a bit blank. And I just kind of had to, they had the other person who was there pretending to be like the supervisor.
Yeah.
And I did have to like use the supervisor for that. And so you remember I messaged you, and I messaged you after the interview, and I said, I'm honestly pretty sure that I blew it. And that was just truly how I was feeling after those role play scenarios, because for me, I didn't feel like I did well on it, but I believe that they saw something in me that it was teachable, and that she knows what she's talking about, but she could use more guidance and experience, which that's what I've been looking for, hands-on experience.
And you probably did a lot better than you're giving your credit credit for, because a lot of times what we do is we're harder on ourselves. We're tougher critics than the actual interviewer. Because for them to even reach out with the offer letter speaks a lot. Right? Yeah, because you weren't the only one who was interviewed.
Right. They had 4 more interviews after me. That was last Thursday, and then they offered the position to me last Friday.
Right. So how long did it take for you from when your class ended, because you started out with no experience? So from when your class ended to the offer letter, how long did this take?
Technically 2 months, if you want to be honest. The class ended early February. I can't remember the exact date. I had the offer letter on April 22nd in my inbox. So that was just maybe right over 2 months, or at the 2-month mark.
That's 2 months, y'all. Yeah. 2 months class, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. That's dope. Right. 2 months is definitely not a lot of time to make a career switch.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying it's easy. That takes a lot of work. Rachel put in a lot of work for that. You heard about the study groups, extra study groups outside of the study hall sessions, outside of Cyber Thursday. That's dope. That's dope.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Literally couldn't have done it without you. I would stress that.
Hey, Rachel. Sorry, it's me, Double speaking. If you don't mind asking you questions, how will you to like balance like your work as far as your actual day, like I guess for instance your 9 to 5 or whatever, with studying? Because I can relate to your story too, coming from a total different field, not having any experience in IT at all, but I wanted to get into it, and being able to balance work and also doing this, like how did that inspire you to like get your Security Plus and your job?
Yeah. So how did I balance it? So what my current job is now, I actually work in threat analysis and assessment. So I actually worked during my entire time with O-Line. I worked some really wacky hours. I worked 3rd shift. So I was working from 11 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. So literally after class would finish, I would be getting ready to go into the office or sign on to the computer if I was, working at the house that night. But usually that worked a lot better for me being on 3rd shift, because the nights weren't always too busy. And I found myself being able to complete my labs, complete quizzes, and pretty much anything that I needed to do. I was able to focus in on that while I was working the 3rd shift. I felt like that was a very that shift worked best for me as far as schooling went. And then we did our study sessions every morning at 10. That was how Calvin and I started it, because I know Calvin also worked at night as well. And so we just opened it up to everybody else. Like, you know, if you're able to make it, join us at 10 a.m. And so we did have, you know, like 3 to 4 other people who were also able to do 10 a.m. with us. And like I said, we pretty much did that Monday to Friday. So that was just kind of how I was able to balance as far as being in the actual class, because I was on night shift the entire duration of the class. Now, following, and also while studying for the Security Plus certification, shortly after I completed all of that, my schedule got changed, and the current schedule that I'm on now is 3 p.m. to 11:30. Which is a really ridiculous schedule. My days also changed. And so it got a lot more difficult as far as investing the time that I so freely had before to, you know, just be able to do my labs, because like from 3 to 11:30 p.m. I was actively like doing work, because that was a way busier time at work than 11 p.m. to 8:30 in the morning. So that was another reason why I also lost momentum, is because I didn't have the time to dedicate the way I had previously. Like I said, my days changed as well. I had less time off. I used to work a 4-day schedule, 3 days off, but then I changed back to a 5-day schedule with only 2 days off. And so it just got really hectic as far as trying to plan, you know, when am I going to, you know, have time to schedule my labs, or, you know, to put in the work for making sure I'm staying on top of my skills. But honestly, what I really did with that was when I got off work at 11:30, I would come home and I was working on labs, or I was up applying to jobs, or watching videos on YouTube, whether it was Toby's videos, or like I said, doing a lab, or it was watching Kev Tech because I was doing interview prep. I was up all night on LinkedIn. Shameless plug. If y'all are not on LinkedIn, please get on LinkedIn and really like interact with it, because it's been just the best as far as networking and just staying encouraged. LinkedIn has really kept me motivated through all of the rejection that I've received recently. So, but I was just on LinkedIn, just applying, interacting with people like myself who might have also been receiving rejections, or just other people who were aspiring to just enter into cybersecurity or other parts of the IT sector. And so,
and this is exactly why she did it in 2 months, y'all, because it takes a certain amount of effort, sacrifices, and consistency, right? I tell you all the time that from my experience, the people who don't get into the field are the people who stop trying. Right? That's just from personal experience, right? Maybe they need a little bit of brushing. They need some fundamentals that they need brushed up. They need the technicals, right? All that can be fixed, right? You sign up for an online course, boom, you're good. But even with all that, the people who don't get in 10 times out of 10 are the ones who stop trying.
Right.
You mind if I chime in real quick too?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't catch who asked that question, but I can attest to being a part of Rachel's journey as well. When it comes to the studying, I work during the time of the class. I was working 12 to 8 p.m. I would hop on the class from 8 to roughly 9:45-ish. And then I was going to Amazon to do overnight shift from 10:15 to 2 p.m. Then back up again, doing that at 10, going to 12 every day. That was probably hard, but the one thing that I feel like our group, and for my personal self, I wanted to pass this certification on the first try. That alone kept me getting up every morning at 10 o'clock, tired as nobody's business, saying, I'm going to be here for my team and we're going to make this happen. It just so happens that I was also the person who was kind of like facilitating the study groups. So if I wasn't there, unfortunately, it kind of didn't really happen, to nobody's fault, right? But those two factors kind of made it so that, I wanted to pass. I wanted to pass on the first try. This was a lot of money invested in myself. I'm not going to squander it or waste it by, saying, all right, the class is over. I'm going to just relax and I'm going to just vibe and I'm going to just, kick it because I'm going to pass it regardless. Now you literally got to put in the work. Like we literally were there studying twice a day. And then on Saturdays with Calvin Keene and the study session on Saturdays at 3 in the afternoon. When everybody out drinking mimosas and brunching it up, we literally on for 2 hours getting grilled by Calvin Keene. And I'm gonna tell you now, he plays no games because I'm pulls no punches.
Yep.
Right. And it's just that honest level of dedication that it was a group of 6 of us at the end. We all pass it. Boom,
All
boom,
of
boom, boom. Right after the other.
It was like a
Right.
late line.
Right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys.
Wow, that's
facts,
lit.
right? And it was just the grind and the dedication, man. Like literally the grind and the dedication. Every day we wanted to pass. And Rachel's the first to get a role. I'm close to getting a role as well. But also just still everything that she says is true and valid. Professor Meza, Kev Tech, every one of us here, we've asked probably 2 billion questions, right? And when it came time, it was funny because right after the class, Toby kept telling us, schedule your exam, your exam. Because if you don't, you will BS, you will pie ass, and then you will be, I could take it whenever. No, you can ask Rachel. I scheduled mine probably the week after the class was over. And she was there like, I'm gonna schedule it. We were like, nah, when are you gonna schedule it?
Yeah, I was putting it off.
When are you gonna schedule it? Nah, you got to, right? And everybody got a schedule. And like you gotta be, on you gotta be on yourself, but then also it definitely helped having a team and like classmates around who wanted the exact same thing as you.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, y'all. And it's another good thing, y'all. We got a really nice community. And we got a really nice community. Everybody wants to help each other. You feel free to just hit somebody up on Discord, right? You can ask anybody a question. Nobody is going to be too good to answer your questions. And you have professionals that you can talk to. These are people who are working in a field, in a sector, at a job that you could possibly get connected to, right? Rachel just got hired somewhere, right? You build a nice connection with Rachel, and you show her what you can do so that if she wanted to refer you, she can refer somebody who knows what they're talking about, because at the end of the day, it's going to be on her name, right? But this is the community you have access to. A lot of people don't have access to people in the field. All of you do. You have, I thought Chris was in here. Yeah, Chris is in here.
I'm here.
You have Chris in here. You have Joel in here. All of these people are in the field. And Joel is actually big time, y'all. So I would actually hit him up ASAP. Okay. Like seriously, you have some good names in here. Reach out to them, say what's up, say hi, ask them for study tips, ask them if they can help you with the interview. Just don't step on your own foot. It's easy to get discouraged. It is so easy, especially if you're new in the field and you're trying to do things by yourself. It is so easy to get discouraged.
Yeah.
Right? I can't say don't get discouraged because it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it keep you down there. All right. You get rejected. Oh, well, cool. Next. What did I do wrong? Right. Don't blame it on the interviewer. Don't blame it on the recruiter. Don't blame it on the job description. Go back to the drawing board. You can ask Rachel. You can ask Chris. You can ask Joe. We are going to start looking at what didn't go right. Okay. Let's look at the positions you applied to. Send me screenshots of the statuses. Let me see if it's the resume. If it's not the resume, right, based off of a few things that we go back and forth on, we conclude that it's the interview. Okay, let's talk about the interview. What are we studying? What should we study? X, Y, and Z. There's always a reason, but if you give up, you never give yourself a chance to find it, yet alone fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, and Rachel did it. It wasn't easy. She made it look easy because 2 months is not easy.
Yeah.
That's not easy. There are people who have been trying to get into the field for years.
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
Appreciate it. Also, a suggestion, guys, you know, if you haven't, like Toby said, connect with people who are already in IT. Something that actually really worked out well for me is that a longtime family friend of mine, he has a really great friend of his for over 20 years that is a cloud security architect, and he put me in touch with him. And I had a very great conversation with the guy, and the guy basically said, you know, he was just happy to take me under his wing, and, you know, mentor me. And so since then, he sends me, well, I mean, he had been sending me like jobs. He had, you know, suggested that I join just organizations because that would look good on my resume. So like tonight, I went to ISSA. They had their first little chapter meeting. I think that's like the International Security. It's something, sorry, I'm having a brain fart. But it's a national cybersecurity like organization that he's been a part of, I believe, since 2010. And you know, he just said he's just met so many people just within the IT sector of just all different walks of life and fields. And they
Can
have
you share that on the Discord?
Yeah, I definitely can.
Thank you.
So I think they have different chapters. So I'm obviously in the Metro Atlanta chapter, and so they just met tonight. But I mean, yeah, like get a mentor, somebody who's within the field, who knows this stuff. And I put it in the if Toby, I know Toby mentioned it to you guys as well, but like Microsoft is doing their free virtual training days. Some are this month. And then there's a few that are in May where they're like waiving the cost of the certain certifications, which I already know you guys are obviously going to be pursuing your Security Plus certification, but, free training, like who wants to pass that up? So just, definitely just take advantage of the resources that are, provided to you all for sure.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rachel.
Of course.
I'm gonna definitely look out for that. Make sure that everybody else gets that information because that's a really good idea. Your network is important.
Definitely about to go put that in the chat right now.
Anybody else have any questions for Rachel, or anybody have any questions for any of the other folks on here?
I just want to say congratulations, Rachel.
Thank you, Chris. Glad to see you.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, man? How you?
I'm all right, man. I'm hanging in there.
That's good. I just got drafted by the Ravens.
Uh-oh.
I'm weak.
Oh, Lord. What was that?
I'm messing with y'all. I just wanted to say congratulations, Rachel. You worked really, really hard.
Thank you.
Toby's the GOAT, guys. Everything they said, I was second. Networking is something that I did to get my job. And Rachel, I really hope you send that information tonight because I want to join that free training as well. You can't pass up that opportunity.
It's in the graduates channel. I posted it last week, but it's still there in the graduates channel.
Okay, I'm about to get it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a good look too, right?
Yeah.
Cloud training is always good.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at it right now. From the 21st, that's what.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's the link, and then you just go and sign up for whatever days that work with you. But they'll waive the cost of the certification. So I think they do a couple of them, but I was interested in the Azure Fundamentals one. So because I'm interested in cloud security, I'm thinking that's the route that I'm going to be following. So
Which channel is this in?
The Graduates channel, which
Graduates,
Toby.
okay.
Yeah, you guys should. I don't know what Toby will give you access to it. You know, I know y'all just graduated today.
Congratulations, everybody who graduated. Keep
Yes,
studying.
congrats.
Appreciate
We
it.
are
Thank
here
you.
and available for you guys.
Yep, they did it. They did it. They did it. They did it.
If you guys need help studying, hit me up. I'm Chris.
Yeah, he's great.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
When's the best time to hit you, Chris?
I'm normally available in the evening, so if you guys want to study in the evenings, that would be the best time.
Okay. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Chris is dope, y'all. He really is. All right, I think he helped Rachel.
Yep. He helped us all. Chris was in the trenches with us helping.
He was the GOAT part 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
He definitely was.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, so $1 million question. Rachel, would you refer somebody else to O-line security if they
100%.
get into the field?
100%. I told you, I've already told my friends about it. Yeah, literally, I was on a cabin trip back in January and was over there telling them about O-line on the cabin trip.
Thank you.
Yes, without a doubt. I will forever preach to the highest of mountains and tell people join O-line. Yeah.
Yeah, funny thing you said about that too is, so for me, like, you know, I always like try to study in between work. You know, I'm in the pharmaceutical field right now, and graduate biology and exercise science. And, you know, I try to get in between times when I'm at work to study, like break times and a little break that I can get. So like a couple of weeks ago, I was studying one of my notes, and one of my coworkers saw me and he was like, "Hey man, like I always see you with your study notes and all this stuff. Like, what are you studying for?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm taking this cybersecurity course, O-line security." And he was like, "You know what? Funny thing you said that, because my girl is actually in the process of trying to change into something cybersecurity too. And, you know, she's not sure where to start from or where to look at it." I was like, "Yeah, man, like you got to get into this, you know, this class I'm taking." I mean, I told him when the next class is going to start up, you know, best thing to do is reach out, you know, put in his spot in for his girl or however they want to do it, just to, you know, take the opportunity too. And, you know, he was looking into it. So I'm hoping he, you know, passed the message along to her, and that way she can also take that opportunity to do that. So, but yeah, man, this is a life-changing thing for me. Toby has been telling me about this for the last 2 years. Why I didn't do it the first time, only God knows, but we're here now. So, you know.
Hey man, I really appreciate that, and congratulations on completing the class. We got a lot more work to do. Remember, you all will be with us on Discord for the next 6 months, right? We don't want to wait till month 5, 6. We want to do what Rachel did. Okay? And if we want to do what Rachel did, we have to do the same amount of work that she did or more, right? It's either or. You either do the same amount of work she put in or you do more. All right, but everybody can do it. Okay, everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. If you need help, just reach out, right? Say, "Hey, what's up, Rachel? Hey, what's up, Calvin? Hey, what's up, Chris, Joe? Can I bother you for about 2 minutes, 5 minutes?" You know, just don't be afraid to ask a question. It's a nice community. Nobody bites. Let's have fun. Let's keep learning together. Let's keep winning. Rachel, congratulations. Caleb, congratulations. Chris, congrats again. Joe, man, you big timing. You big timing, Joe. I'm surprised you still got time for us on a Cyber Thursday. Joe's been doing a lot of pen testing assignments. He's been sending me some funny screenshots.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, man. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let you all go. Y'all have fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. If you haven't, please leave a review on our Google reviews page, just talking about your experience so the world can know. If you have, thank you. Other than that, y'all stay safe. Hold on to your loved ones. Give them a fat kiss. And I will see you all next Thursday.
Have a good one,
Easy,
guys.
fam.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Congrats,
Good night.
So
Rachel.
much. Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Thank you.